Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Three Stooges, more specifically about the 76 Stooge short produced by Columbia Pictures that released December 30th, 1943. Now I'm cataloging every single Stooge short all the way from number 1 through 190. So if you haven't seen the previous 75 Stooge shorts that I've covered, make sure to look at my playlist where I have them all there for you to see. You can watch them in chronological order or pick the ones that you maybe haven't seen. So let's get right to it. We're going to talk about A Gem of a Jam. It's a great Stooge short and one that I really like. Now my question is, have you seen it? Because it seems like this one isn't played that much in syndication. It was filmed from June 12th through the 16th of 1943, and as I mentioned, came out at the end of the year in December. Now, in this short, the Stooges are janitors, and they're working in an office of doctors. The doctors' names are Hart, Burns, and Belcher. I mean, they always have really creative names when it comes to the silly situations that they're in. Now, some robbers, some burglars arrive seeking medical attention after their boss has been wounded in a shootout with the police. Now, mistaken for doctors themselves, the Stooges are forced to operate on the wounded crook, which is completely hilarious if you watch that scene. Instead, they accidentally dump him out the window into a passing police car. Of course, the police take him away, and the rest of the gang chases them into the store filled with dummies where the cops finally catch the bad guys. It's a really good Stooge short. It's really funny. It's really silly, and Curly is amazing in this short. Remember, I've been cataloging Curly's unfortunate decline of health through the shorts that I've been covering, and there are two previous ones in where I mentioned two head injuries, one in his eye, one in the back of his head, and in this Stooge short he has another injury. There are more smaller ones that I've talked about in terms of injuries that I've previously covered, but I want to show you that his strokes and his health decline was essentially a conglomeration, an addition of all of these events kind of combined into one, where it was just like a row of dominoes. It was just too much for him, and it just hit him to a point where he couldn't handle it anymore. It was really difficult to continue doing this type of physical comedy. Now, to me, it's quite obvious, and it's my professional opinion doing this so long, that from studying this, this was one of the very major blows that really dealt a decline to Curly's health. I mean, if you listen to what I'm going to tell you about, I mean, it's pretty significant, and it was unfortunate that this happened to him. And it was all in the scene with the gurney. So, of course, Curly was on the gurney. He was covered with a sheet, and Moe and Larry are pretending to be doctors, kind of trying to fix him, and the robbers are there kind of blackmailing him or threatening, thinking that it's the boss under the sheets, and they're like, hey, you better fix him up, you better make sure he's good and healthy. Now, this gurney essentially was responsible for his injury. Curly Howard was lying on it, and part of the scene that is normal is that he was being tilted on the gurney. Now, unfortunately, it tilted too far. It was a mistake from production and from the cast and crew who were essentially moving and tilting that gurney. It resulted in Curly banging his head. He just basically slid off of the gurney and banged his head on the prop window, which was, I mean, hard. It was probably made out of wood, and it was the edge of the windowsill. Now, his head got a gash, a cut, that required 9 stitches. Yeah, you heard that right. Not 1 or 2 stitches, but 9 stitches on the back of his head, which, I mean, sounds extremely painful. Now, Curly returned to work after this happened, after he got all sewed up and getting back on set. He was able to continue, but he had to continue the short with this injury and with these stitches. Now, I looked through the short. I really couldn't find any moments where you could see it and it was obvious. A lot of the costuming really contributed to that because it had a high collar, and so if anything would be hidden by that, it would be really difficult to see any type of stitches. So that's my guess, that it's probably behind that collar that he was wearing and the other Stooges were wearing. So did you know about this injury, and do you think that, I mean, it contributed significantly to his health decline? I mean, think about it. It's a lot of events. Remember, it's a lot of events leading up to this, and if any of you are doctors yourself, let me know if to the back of the head, you know, sliding off and hitting the side of a windowsill, getting 9 stitches can really contribute to this traumatic brain injury or these brain injuries that Curly Howard had. I thank you all for your support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's a free way to support my channel. And thanks so much. We'll see you all next time. And don't forget, everyone, be hopeful. Thank you to all my supporters, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Russ C, Sally N, Vito L, Citizen Kane 359, David D, Jerry D, Jennifer P, and Kevin K. If you want to join this list and be a patron supporter, it does help out so much, and I thank you ahead of time.